Hello viewers, you're welcome to this week's episode of Festival of Talks. Festival of Talks is a TV program that brings you interviews with prominent men and women. They tell us about what they do, how they do what they do, and how people can be part of what they do. During our interview session, we also discuss topics of human and national interest. On this week, we'll be talking about the legality of the Rivers State governor recognizing Sir Celestine Omeya as a former governor. We'll be asking, is this right? Is it what it should be? Considering the Supreme Court ruling. And to discuss this topic with me is a legal practitioner, a distinguished personality, and I'll let you meet him just shortly. Welcome to the show, sir. Please, you know what we're discussing, and I would like you to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Uche Felix Ewule, a Knight of St. Christopher in the Anglican Church, a chief in Yemoha, Council of Chiefs, and personality in my local government, in the state, and community, and the nation. I was born on the 21st of November 1963. I went to school at a very early age. Between 1974 and 1979, I had come out of secondary school in 1979. And I went to university straight away in 1982, University of Maiduguri, where I obtained second class upper division in law, bachelor's of laws, not bachelor.
Okay,
bachelor's of law degree. That's what they call LLB.
Okay.
And then I proceeded to the Nigerian Law School, where the
Lagos.
Yes, Lagos, Nigerian Law School, Lagos, where I had the barrister at law. From there, I served in Lagos, and after the youth service, I stayed in Lagos, and I worked with Chief Ganifa, and from there, I left and worked with S.A. Wako briefly before I set up my Uche F. Ewule and Co.
Since you opened your own chambers, how long have you been practicing on your own?
Since 1990.
Since 1990.
I was called to bar in 1987.
Okay.
I graduated in 1986. I was called to bar in 1987, and I did the youth service in 1987-88. I worked with Ghani Farm in 1988-89, and then Mr. Ako shortly, and then in 1990 I read my own.
So what has the experience been like? Okay. So
Well, it's been an exciting one. It's been full of ups and downs, good side of it, and a side of it. But I think that the good side of it is the more, because I think that I have developed gradually in this work, and I have full life to explain.
Now, as a legal practitioner, what can you say about the Nigerian legal system? Would you say, vis-a-vis when you compare it what we have in the international world, will you say the Nigerian legal system is kind of slow, or do you appreciate the growth so far? What can you say about it?
The Nigerian legal system is developing. Mind you, we borrowed from the common law system of the United Kingdom, the British and all that. And so, but we have followed that over the years, influenced by that. But gradually we are developing our own and then also carrying on with their own. So we are advancing. There are laws that are completely independent and peculiar to the Nigerian system, are not basically the common law system, but developed in Nigeria with our own peculiar situation. There are not too many, but they are there. So you can see when you borrow, or when you are coming out from a culture and moving to another, or maybe expounding to your own, that is bound to have some pitfalls and all that. The only thing I have about Nigeria is that they are not patient. Today there's a mistake, everybody, kill him. Tomorrow they perform well, the judiciary perform, the judiciary is the best. And sometimes it depends on who, what decision is. Those who it is against will say is the best, is the worst. Those who it is in favor will say is the best. So we don't have a Nigerian system that even assesses the judiciary, correctly and in good order. You have a system that is only fair weather. When it is good for them, they assess it. When it's bad, a system is bound to make mistake. One person may make a mistake, costly mistake for the system, but you have to accommodate them. You have to develop it. You have to encourage it. It's not as if it is bad at all times. The system is developing. There are things that are happening now that never happened before, but they have developed. If we fail, Nigerians should encourage us. It happens in other countries. When they fail, they encourage themselves. Nobody is perfect. A judge is a human being, no doubt. He's a human being created by God. He is bound to make mistakes. He's not a perfect person. If he makes mistakes, the Nigerians want him to die immediately. Oh, this judge is corrupt. Tomorrow morning he gives another judgment that is sound. Oh, we have the best system in the world. That's not how it should be. In all our things, even in football, our Nigerian team wins today. Oh, we are the best. If they fail tomorrow, oh, crucify them. So the system is developing and needs patience and encouragement. See, nobody develops alone.
For how long are we going to be patient about the developing judicial system?
The system will continue to develop too long as we are moving on. What we used to do in the 80s, when we came out, are not the same. Before, for you to cite an authority in court, you will have to go to King's Law Report, Queen's Bench, and all those authorities that come from Britain, for you to cite an authority. But today, as it is, there is no aspect of the law that you will not find a Nigerian authority. So that we have reached that stage where the authorities we cite in court are now Nigerian made. You understand? And we don't make reference to American law or British law and quote the authorities and all that. We don't do them anymore. They are rarely done. Not that they are not done. They are rarely done. Maybe somebody who wants to convince the court, you can begin to get into such things and see how it's done in other places. On the average, in fact, not even on the average, higher on the other side, you have the Nigerian authorities that are available, and those decisions are made by our Nigerian courts.
Now, talking about the evolving Nigerian judicial system, don't forget our talk. We're looking at the legality behind the decision of the Governor Nyesomike, to confer all the rights and privileges of Sir Celestine Omeya and acknowledge him as a former governor. What do you think about that? Do you think the governor has the right to do that? You know, he is also a barrister. And what do you think about that?
In that respect, you see, there's not one way to look at it. You have two ways. If you look at it from one way, you will fail. And a lot of people that are saying that what he did is wrong are looking at it from one way. He did what is right. Now I'll let you know. In law, there is what they call de jure and de facto. Okay? De jure means in law. De facto means in fact. Now some people are looking at it from the law. The law in the sense that the Supreme Court made a decision.
They nullified
nullifying Omeya
yes.
And his election, or not even the election, the candidature of Omeya,
yes.
And said that Omeya in law was not the governor,
yes.
but Amechi. Now, if you look at it from that angle, Omeya is not was not a governor. If you look at it from that judgment, he was not a governor. But between me and you, was Omeya not the governor of Rivers State? That's why I'm saying that, in fact, Omeya was the governor of Rivers State between May 29 and 25th of October. He was the governor. He signed laws into bills into law. He did awarded contract on behalf of the state. He appointed commissioners. He ran the state as a governor. Even the bridge that you have, the Eleme Bridge, it was under his watch that they built it. The High Court, the third building there, they have 3 buildings in that place. The third one was under his watch. He paid the money, he awarded the contract and paid off the money, and they built that. On that one, he performed as the executive governor of Rivers State. Now, can you claim that history? No, because there is a judgment. The Supreme Court didn't say, in fact, he was not the governor. What the Supreme Court said, in law, he was not the governor. But in actual fact, he was a governor. He was even the one that did most of the things. So he set the tone for Amechi. Now, if you want to tell the history of Rivers State and the governance, you cannot ignore Omeya. And that is what Wike did.
So he has the legal right.
He has the right to say that this man was governor, regardless of the judgment, and to confer all his rights. He had rights and privileges. Even that portrait, put it there, is correct. If you come to that portrait hall, if you go to the executive chambers and see the portrait, you see other people, you will tell the story of Omeya, which is not going to be missing. For Amechi, it should be missing. And it was a political consideration. There shouldn't be maybe sentimental consideration, that there shouldn't be Omeya at all. Because if he had good sentiments about him, he would have put him there. He would have recognized him and paid him, give him entitlements. But because of that bad sentiment, his bad faith, acting mala fide, he now removed that, saying that the law. Can you remove the fact that Omeya was the governor of Rivers State? No. And that is what Wike, His Excellency, did by recognizing him and restoring those things and telling Rivers people that you cannot tell the history of Rivers State government without Omeya being a governor. So I think there is very right, absolutely right, because the law, the Supreme Court judgment did not say that Omeya was not governor in fact.
Due to the judgment of the Supreme Court, and that was why maybe the former governor didn't acknowledge Sir Celestine Omeya.
No, what I'm saying is that for anybody to go to court, you must have what we call locus. Now, when you have a public duty which you want to enforce, you must show that that duty affects you more than other people. It's not enough for one human being to wake up and say he wants to tell the governor that what is your own? How did it affect you more than others?
Okay, I see what you mean.
You understand what I mean? Yes. One single person waking up this morning And so I want to run to court to ensure that what Onyeso Wike did, His Excellency did, was wrong. Question is, how does it affect you more than every other person? Because what he did is a public duty. How does that thing he did affect you? People don't just go to court to pursue. You must be pursuing a right and a legal right. So where is your legal right? Where is your legal right more than others? Because it's a public duty. It's not everybody that goes to court to pursue a public duty. You must say how it affects you more than any other person.
Personally. Okay, so what do you think is the implication of this action by His Excellency to Rivers State? What is the implication?
The implication is that His Excellency Onyeso Wike has righted the wrong, has put the perspective, the story, the history, the effects, whatever, of Rivers State in its own state line. Like I said, if you want to tell the history of Rivers State, when you get there and there is no mayor, then you must have a vacuum which has to be filled. A student of history will ask you what happened here. After 100 years or 50 years, some people have come, they don't even know Ahmed, they don't know mayor, they don't know Wike. You understand? They don't even know the Supreme Court at that time. They will ask question, how did it happen that they said Amechi took oath of office on the 25th of October and not on the 29th. After Governor Dele on the 29th of May, who was there before Amechi took the office on 25th of October. So that gap is what Onyeso Wike has filled. And somebody who comes from that situation should enjoy it. And the mayor worked for Rivers State. For that 5 months, he should enjoy the entitlements of a governor, regardless of what the law thinks. Because the law thinks differently. But I tell you that in fact, for what we know, and in the circumstances, the mayor was the governor of Rivers State. Maybe you might borrow inequity, which also still confers rights on people. You know?
Okay, now let's go away from this. We'll still come back to this topic. We want to know, as a legal practitioner, for the layman out there who don't know, you just tell us, please, what are the processes of instituting a legal action? For instance, if I have a land dispute, what steps can I take? And if maybe I fail at the lower court, what other steps can I take to see that I get justice as a common person?
If you have a land dispute
and maybe I fail at the lower court, it had come and I failed. What? Just tell us the legal process.
If you have a land dispute and you have gone to the High Court to pursue it, you go to the High Court to pursue it, and you fail at the High Court, that declaration was not made in your favor.
Yes.
The judgment was against you. Now you have the option to go to the Court of Appeal. The Constitution allows you a right to go appeal to the Court of Appeal. Now, at the Court of Appeal, you will now say where the High Court failed in giving you judgment. It's not just to go to the Court of Appeal and you start telling the stories again. The story has been told at the High Court.
It has been settled as it were.
Settled as it were. You will now carry the records of the High Court, what happened at the High Court, to the Supreme Court. And in that Supreme Court, to the Court of Appeal, in that Court of Appeal, you file a notice of appeal where you state all the grounds of your appeal, the reasons why you are appealing. And those reasons must arise from the judgment of the lower court, from what happened at the High Court. It's not just to go to Court of Appeal and begin to introduce new things. You must restrain yourself to what happened at the High Court. Except in exceptional cases, you ask for the leave of the Court of Appeal. They will give you to bring in something that is new. But that thing must be what was contested within the High Court. It's not like this one came from somewhere. Maybe it happened, the land was in the south. There is another land in the north. You want to introduce it? No. No. Then when you go to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal gives judgment against you, you have the option to go to the Supreme Court. At that stage, you have a limited course. You understand? Your judgment, your appeal must be within what the Court of Appeal decided, where they went wrong. Because what you are going to canvass there is where the Court of Appeal went wrong. You understand? So if you have a situation where the Court of Appeal and the High Court are saying the same thing, then you have a tax, a very big tax, to convince the Supreme Court that these two people were wrong. You understand? So at the Supreme Court, you will now have to show how their findings, the findings of the Court of Appeal and the findings of the High Court were wrong. It's not an easy task, but people do it and they succeed. You can succeed at the Supreme Court. You haven't failed first and failed second, even at the Supreme Court, you can still win. And that is it. We have seen quite a lot of cases like that. You understand? Like the case of the Bunge of Abua against the governor of Rivers State, who will rule Abua. The Owema was in charge. The government appointed the Owema of Abua, and he was there for many years. They went to the High Court. The High Court approved it, confirmed this. They went to the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal, in line with the High Court, confirmed it. They went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court annulled all those judgments and gave the judgment to the Bunge. You understand? So it doesn't matter that you fail at the first instance and fail at the second instance. The third instance you can pass. When you pass there, you have passed. You understand? It doesn't matter whether it's not like 2 plus 1, 2 and 1. No. That one is the Supreme Court of Nigeria. That's the final judgment. And if you look at even the Amechi and Omeya case, they were moving onto the Supreme Court. It was the Supreme Court that gave the final judgment, and that's why Amechi won. You know, so.
Recently, we saw the show of shame of the lawmakers, and it's as a legal practitioner, they are our lawmakers. What do you think about that? What's your take on that?
The situation is that if you know, most people who are in politics, like I used to say, every person in politics has ambition. Even the ones that are carrying back here, the ones that are on the street, if you want them this morning, even now, if you want, they will land in their bosses and all that. They have ambition. Somebody has ambition to become a PA to a PA.
But everybody in life, everybody has ambition.
Yes, so those people that went there went with ambition, different from the Nigerian, that is Nigerian.
What they are actually supposed to do.
The ambition, what I'm seeing there is that the ambition is overshadowing the Nigerian interest. You understand? Their interest is overshadowing the Nigerian interest. At the level where you have gone to the National Assembly, you become a lawmaker to make laws for Nigeria, your interest will go under, and then the Nigerian interest will be above yours.
Considering the amount of money spent
in bringing you in.
But most of them, salaries and everything.
Most of them go there with their personal interest being at the fore and leaving the Nigerian interest. So that is what you are seeing there. Because ordinarily, somebody has to lead the place. Whether left or right, somebody has to lead. And if he has been elected, and you are pursuing that the procedure was wrong, and they are telling you that those people have been elected, they are working, the best thing is for you to calm down and look for another strategy. It is not for you to go and fight. It's not for you to go and begin to struggle meet, see them struggling meet, some people who are fallen. No, that is like personal interest. And that is why even when they are wrong, and you tell them that they are wrong, they will sit tight. We saw a situation where people left a party and went to another party, from PDP to All Progressive APC. and they didn't relinquish their position in the House. But once the law says, well, once you leave your party that elected you to another, you are supposed to vacate your house, your position in the House or in the National Assembly. But we didn't see that. Instead, they went to court to start delaying the process of their leaving place. You see, those are personal interests. In developed democracy, people go for it, and when they see that their ambition cannot fit into the national interest, they resign. They leave the place with honor, so people respect them. But here, no, people are ready to fight.
Okay, so what's your advice to upcoming people, the young people who are aspiring to be like you? Do you tell them to go on? Just tell us your advice.
No, clearly I advise them to work hard. You understand? A lot of times here, we can see that people are no longer working very hard. Because things are these days cheap. They find out that the persons who even get into positions don't work really hard. You understand? If you look at even positions these days, they give you to not even the best of best materials. So people are beginning to get discouraged about that. Okay? And I advise people, young people, work hard, because it won't be like this. It won't be like, maybe in your own time, merit will count. Now, it's beginning to turn out that way too. Because these days, even when politicians are doing their work, organizing themselves to them, they look for people who are PhDs, who have doctorate degree, who are professionals, to sit down and plan their programs for them. They want to put their office, even as commissioners, they look for professionals. They look for technocrats. They don't even call politicians. They go for technocrats around, bring them in. If you look at even the cabinet of Ahmed last time, they look for those who were not even foot soldiers in politics. Sometimes foot soldiers in politics don't get. It's people who are hanging outside, who are supplying the initiative, the plan, the research, doing those things, that eventually you call them, come and head finance, come and head health, come and head this one. So I think that they shouldn't be discouraged. They should work harder to aspire to become, by tomorrow, it will not be in the manner that it was yesterday. The world is even getting competitive. Young people these days, even somebody is dropping exams in BSc, he's picking a form for his master's in science and all that. So that's what is happening. People are no longer, even as lawyers, these days, it doesn't just end with LLB and BL. Some people are looking for LLM, people are diverting to other areas, making it look handsome,
Thank you very much, Barrister, for coming on our show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, viewers, that's it on this week's episode of Festival of Talks. Remember that to tune in every week on Mondays, 8:30 p.m. and on Fridays, 9:30 a.m. for another interesting edition of Festival of Talks. My name is Angel Perfecta, is it? Until next week, bye-bye.